Hi, good afternoon. It's a warm one today. I'm guessing the same is true for wherever you are. And I have no idea what it was particularly about this week, but it felt like a week that was more distracting, perhaps a little more emotionally challenging. And I found myself realizing that my typical mindfulness techniques weren't working as well as maybe they had historically. They just weren't feeling right in my mind and my body this week. And I came across a really useful article by Sean Fargo, and it basically was sharing when mindfulness techniques aren't working, what else can we turn to? Because I was finding that I needed some suggestions to help me maybe work with my distracted, more anxious energy this week. So I wanted to bring up 5 things that I found in the article to be helpful, and I practiced each and every one of them. So the very first one is about instead of, all of them are part of mindfulness. It's just that you're focusing in on a particular tool of maybe meditation or mindfulness. So the first one is using a compassion exercise. I love Tara Brach's RAIN, R-A-I-N, is an acronym for recognize, allow, investigate, and nourish. And there's actually an additional A that she puts into her most recent version of this one, and it's after the rain. About what are you letting in and what are you moving towards? So it's a compassion meditation by Tara Brach. Lovely, lovely long-term meditation teacher and mindfulness teacher. Another is physical activity. Bringing your energy into your body to literally bring in some good hormone movement to quiet the mind and focus instead on your breath and on your body connection. Whether that is through dance, hiking, running, yoga, qigong. I went for a very invigorating hike up a mountain the other day because I needed to get out into nature, which settles me. But it was a steep hike, and I was really having to pay attention to my breath and into my body, which took me out of here for a bit. And the view was spectacular, which again brought me into a place of gratitude. So it was a double win on that one. The third one is about using different guided meditation techniques. So you could use that through an app like Insight Timer or Headspace, but you could also use your own mantra or a self-affirmation that feels right for you. I found this week that choosing the one, I am enough, be at peace, those sort of words were resonating with me. Hand on heart, hand on belly as you breathe, or just simply sitting quietly or going for your walk or going for your hike and gently repeating those words. Maybe it's when you go to sleep, when you're laying down, noticing on taking very slow, intentional breaths, again with a longer exhalation than the short in-breath and a out-breath, so that you can really bring in that sense of soothing into your body. So I think those are the ones that I found the most helpful. Creative expression is another one, where you just go into a different part of your brain. So I find a lot of restoration when I am in the kitchen, when I'm cooking. I wish I had more artistic side to me, but for some, maybe it's your music, maybe it is in fact painting, or maybe it's just doodling. Doodling is actually quite great at helping you just go into a diffuse thinking and just allow your mind to wander. Maybe you have some different colored pens or pencils to doodle with. I determined that I was going to order a paint by number canvas this week because I think that's just a creative outlet that I haven't tried in a really long time. I'm seeking different approaches to help me stay in a more quiet, balanced space, because there's a lot that's challenging us, right? We're not perfect. We're not always going to be strong. We're not always going to necessarily be our calm and mindful selves that we want to be, right? So that takes a little bit more practice and intention on some days. And perhaps what we focus in on is taking one of the tools that we might use in mindfulness and practice it specifically. Just really hone in on it. And be really compassionate with yourself again, that it's okay not to feel awesome every day, that you don't have to be sunshine and rainbows every second, because that's not real, that's not human. And it's important that you allow yourselves to be with whatever is. And when you need support, hey, let's add that to the list. Make sure you reach out to your loved ones, reach out to a good friend for a call, and honestly, if you need somebody objective, text HOME to 747-747. That's the crisis hotline. If you just need somebody to listen, or if you just want to text and have an anonymous way of letting some of these angst, anxious, anger, whatever it may be that's going on for you, let it out. Let it out. My point is, we're going to find our way through day by day using tools and techniques that we try on. But the only way that you're going to know what works for you when you're feeling particularly out of sorts is to try different things. So practice a little. So maybe you look up some different apps, Insight Timer, Headspace, Calm, Aura, or just a few that I've mentioned before. Maybe you check out some meditation teachers like Tara Brach or Sean Fargo. Maybe you look into some creative movement. Maybe you do some online qigong or yoga or dance. And also, again, try some self-soothing with some self-affirmations. And lastly, don't ever be afraid to reach out for support, right? We all need that. So know your support network, reach out to them, let them be walking alongside you, because we all need that more than ever now. So let's go out there, doing our best job every day, trying different things to keep ourselves in a good space. I'm wishing you a very, very good week. One that perhaps brings a little more peace, a little less anxiety, and perhaps a little more joy. With that, I wish you genuinely a great rest of the day, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Namaste.